Hi everyone, it's Gaming for XP here, and you might wonder where the heck I am. Well, let's go and have a look. Thanks to one of my subscribers for making a suggestion. He said, have you ever considered building at Hangman's Alley? And in short, the answer to that was, no, not really. I have tried to build here once before, and yeah, not real successfully. So challenge accepted. Functioneer, I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but we're going to have a series of builds at Hangman's Alley. So I just thought I would start by at least getting all the loot out here, but also showing you what Hangman's Alley looks like once you've liberated it from the raiders. And you see there are the raiders there. I have looted them. So here we go. One thing I didn't realise is this area here was actually part of the settlement. So you can see I've cleaned it out a fair bit. Still got to get rid of some of the bodies. I did kind of make one mistake and I got rid of one of the walls, and this was behind it. Gentleman cooking his tea. So I'd advise you not to go there. I just put a wall there and we're just going to forget about that a little bit. Yep. So I didn't realise this was a buildable area down here. I'd always kind of gone to the corner. And I do believe that there are some issues with meshing of settlers going down that bottom end, but we're going to build on it anyway. Why not? So I'm just cleaning up a little bit. Now that house there, yep, that one there, is hard to remove. So thank you to Dracus Invictus for giving me some suggestions on scrapping mods. If you don't know Vic, I'll leave a link in the bottom with his channel. He's another Fallout 4 YouTuber. It's certainly worth checking out. So I think we've pretty much got everything sorted and we can start building. So I guess you know, I got the comments, and thank you. I really appreciate some ideas, and I took it as a challenge. Maybe it wasn't a challenge, it was maybe just a comment that was made, but I took it as a challenge because this build I'm really excited for, and you'll see as we go through how it progresses. But I really had to sit down first of all and just figure out what I wanted to do with Hangman's Alley, and it's fair to say that Hangman's Alley does possess its own challenges, and a lot of that has got to do with the tall buildings that you see all over the place, and of course they're not a. I got no idea. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'd forgot at that point that I'd got so excited that I'd killed the raiders that I hadn't actually assigned any resources to the particular settlement, so I had to go away and do a bit of things behind the scenes. So I didn't want to bore you with all that. So we're back and we've got plenty of wood and steel and all that good stuff. Now, when I'd done my practice run here, I got this to work perfectly, and as you'll see in a minute, I do make a little bit of a mistake here in the kind of where those prefabs are in relation to putting the roof on. You'll see what I mean in a minute, but anyway, it just takes me a little bit to fix it, and you know, it's just one of those things. So okay, coming back to the ideas, I thought long and hard about what I could do with Hangman's Alley, and what I came up with was, let's give it an alley vibe or an alley feel. So that's what we're going to do with this first section. Now here's where I made a bit of a mistake, and you can see when I first made this, I'd at least done a practice run, that fitted in nicely across that gap there. So I'm going to try a few things. None of it worked and I have to rip it all out and start again. So luckily it was early in the build, so it wasn't too much of a drama. You can see I'm trying a whole lot of things here, but none of it works. Okay, so rip it all out, rip it up and start again. I think that was a song at one point. Okay, get rid of that. for some reason I think that's the last one. There we go. So we just have to move it across a bit, that's all, but you know, it's just a bit of a pain when you've done that, but hey, these are the perils of building in Fallout, I guess. There we go, and see how it snaps in perfectly. So we're all good now. So you can see I'm just testing, because here's one of the things that you're going to run into is building. They will snap into those buildings, and you'll see in a minute, but yeah, if you don't get it across a bit, there you go. See how that's snapped into the building? There we go. But you've got the collision's got to be right, so all good. We'll go back to the original plan. And this is how I build to start with any kind of settlement. Depending on what ideas I have, I'll just lay it out, and really just using these prefabs as placeholders, just laying it out like that, and just trying to generate some ideas. Now, as you can see, again, there's a door up there, and so I can't get up there if I put a prefab there, so I had to take that out. And I'll leave that door locked for now. One of the things that I'm still working on this build, although it's pretty well advanced, one of the things that I'm working on is possibly just having one doorway into the settlement. The only problem with that is when you spawn in, it tends to drop you at the opposite gate, so you can actually put there are mats there that you can put in that changes the fast travel spot, so I'm going to try all that and see how that goes. Now, if you've watched a couple of my builds, you know I love these pieces of security wall. And one of the big things with these, if you're going to build it like I'm building it now, make sure that those are sunk into the ground, because otherwise they will stick up above. Again, place anywhere is good for that, and it just suddenly snaps in anyway. So they're a bit longer. They're size of the barn pieces and the warehouse pieces, so they're a little bit longer. So you just got to drop them down and drop them into the ground, sink them into the ground. Now these floor pieces I have never used before, but I was just having a look what else was in the menu, and I came across them and I went, that kind of fits, and it solves a problem because there's a little bit of a step at the doorway there. So it solved a problem for me, and it actually works out perfect, because I'll run those all the way around the corner there, and it actually lines up and evens the ground out very nicely. So if you ever built at Hangman's, or if you've ever spent any time at Hangman's, you'll know it's a pretty how would you say, pretty lively area, and there's a lot going on. There's always attacks in this area, and there's a lot of different factions, mostly super mutants, but raiders as well, that will come and visit and say hello. So I wanted to kind of go with that vibe of not only having an alley, but having that kind of security vibe to it, or downtrodden vibe to it, where it's a tough area, and therefore things have to be behind security screens and stuff. Now I do put the door there. That changes in a little while. A lot of this does change as I go through the build and I refine things, but for now, again, I'm just trying to get things in place and get a feel for what I want to do. So again, same old trick. I'm going to put the counter here and just glitch it into the security screen. Yep. So I'm just looking for a couple. Yep. Just check, make sure it'll fit. Yep. So I'll put that down there. Plop. Come on. That's it. Excellent. And we'll put that down there. Excellent. Good. You can obviously glitch this in any way you like. The people that have watched me for long enough know that I love Place Anywhere, and I still my subscriber that said, why don't you use it, you've got it. Well, I'm using it. I'm doing as I'm told. I use it a lot. So again, I'm just having a good look to see that's not quite straight, so just adjust that to suit. And I think it works well to, I'm always a big fan of making sure that there's a flow for a settlement. So you can see we're going to walk up through the doorway there, and we can walk right up to the counter there and be at the right level on the counter for that particular bit. So just like that, good. Right, so we'll just see if the blue one, yep, that's good, height wise. Just see if the blue one lines up, and we'll just line that up a little bit better. Excellent, there we go. So far so good, I think. I like the look of this. What you will find with Hangmans if you build here is you don't get a great deal of light coming in. So it can tend to look a little bit dark. So now we're going to put some walls in. I think that's what I do next. And again, you see at the front, I actually used the steel walls. You can, and you know, I'm using the corrugated iron here. You can do whatever you like here, but it's just, I like that kind of scrappy, run-down look, because it goes with the area. And one of my big pieces of advice, if you're going to build in any particular settlement, just spend some time before you build having a look around outside the settlement and see what kind of items are lying around. Hangman's Alley is actually right on the river, and I did contemplate using some nautical items, and I still might do that, but it's also right on the edge of the city, and it's not too far from Diamond City also, so you know, there's a lot going on. If you go out and explore with in Hangman's, you'll probably get shot at, just warning you. And again, I'm just building around the corner here just to see how everything fits in here. And I like the look of these mesh floor pieces. And I make this on 3 levels. I make 3 levels eventually and put them on all 3 just to try and let some light in. As I said before, it can tend to be a little bit dark here. And also I wanted to create this kind of alleyway that as you come in, you know, it can actually be guarded by the settlers, and you can actually look down on people. So that's all looking pretty good. So, okay. Now, there you go, the floor pieces, and you'll see what I mean in a second about how this actually levels out the ground. These are great pieces. I really like these. So thanks to my friend from Workshop Rearranged. Thanks very much, mate. These have become, and you can see how that now goes and levels the ground out completely. All good, very happy. Now, I think I'm about to make a big mistake in putting a door in that doesn't open, but I won't find that out for a lot longer, but we'll put that door in anyway. Cool. Looks alright. And you can see I've followed the alley vibe on. I'll put a few shops as you come around the corner, so you're really walking in through a whole series of shops before you hit the main area of the settlement. Now I'm trying to make an adjustment because I want to put this wall in. Now doesn't work out, and eventually I will get it, but in this video it really is about just putting things in place, and I don't want to spend too much time playing around with this. I will do that. I will get it right, but I'll do it without recording. And what I eventually have to do is I have to pull everything out of here, put those in first, and then put everything back. So if you're going to do this, and you will see these sticking up for a while, and you see I'm continuing to try, and eventually I just give up and say no, I'll do it later. Okay, there you go. See how they're sticking up over the top. So given that one of my subscribers actually gave me the idea, or at least suggested that I've even considered building, please feel free to make more suggestions, either on settlements you want me to build in or buildings that you might want me to build. I'll put this in here, but it's just too much. There's too much. I just don't like the look of it, so I'll go back and put some walls in here. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of good suggestions through various places, but certainly you're supporting the channel, you're watching my vids, which is great, but obviously I'd like to see a little bit more interaction. I'd like to bring you content that is actually going to help you, so that's really the motivation for my channel anyway. This is really designed to inspire people, give people ideas, and you know, I'm also a big fanboy of Fallout in general, so feel free to make some comments or contact me via personal messages, and just, you know, I'm happy to do builds from suggestions, no problem. I'll have a go. I'll always have a go. Also, I'll always try and answer your comments and your inquiries, either here or on Twitter, either or. And I'm getting a lot of feedback. Also, you know, if I can't answer the question, I will certainly point you to somebody that can. And you know, in recent weeks, I have been collaborating with a few YouTubers, Fallout 4 building YouTubers, and also some mod developers. So I'm happy to get questions answered for you. So we're going to jazz it up here. I think we're going to put a bit of neon. No, we're going to put these are fantastic. Better Stores mod these signs. I love these signs. I mean, these are normal signs for the shops anyway, but he's just broken them out for us. So I'm just kind of trying to lay out what I want to put here, and what makes sense. See, there's a few signs there. So we'll put a weapons store here, an armor store next to it, because that kind of sort of makes sense. And again, you know, a lot of this will change. And of course, now that I've put the weapons up there, I think, okay, I can put the armor one up there. There's no reason why not. Well, I don't know, for some reason these are a bit finicky to snap. You can get these to snap onto those security screens, no problem. It just takes a bit of time. And I don't think it's the security screens as such, I think it's these signs. They can be a bit finicky. I probably should take the roof off, but it's easy to see that when you're watching your videos back. So what tends to happen is they look as though they're flush against it, but they're actually sitting, there we go, they're actually sitting off a little bit. Yep, all good. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's a pretty good start to the settlement. So that's about it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting the channel. And I will catch you in part 2. See ya.